What's up, Doc D here, and today is the start of my new series where we are going to listen to an artist's whole discography, rank each of their albums, and rank the discography as one on a tier list. S being like God tier, like mind-blowing, and F being dog shit and unlistenable, okay? There's too many artists with too many go-to discographies, so this series will just allow me to tap in, hear all these great albums, all these great songs. And this is how I've always listened to music ever since I started taking it seriously. Just listening to every album instead of not just listening to whatever's on the radio or what's on Rap Caviar. Now, when I started to think of a title for this new series, I was thinking of something with Doctor and maybe Discography, the DDD, 3Ds, or something like that. And then while I was making this video, I got suggested this.
Welcome back to the Deep Discog Dive, and I'm pissed. I don't think I've ever dedicated a full section of a DDD to a song.
God damn it! What are the odds, dude? A white guy with glasses talking about discographies? I'm cooked, bro, I'm cooked. So I finally figured out a name. You ready? Doc D's Discography Diagnosis, or 4D for short, because 4Ds is better than 3. Suck it! Just kidding, okay? Shout out to Mike the Snare, he gave me a lot of inspiration for this video. Now, for our first 4D, we are listening to Grammy-winning country pop trio, Lady A. Now, you're probably wondering why, out of all the artists in the world, I choose a country band for my first 4D. Because I wanted to, I don't know. Well, the real reason is because back in the day, when I was an adolescent, I would just listen to whatever's on the radio or whatever my parents would play. And my dad, he used to put me on ball, okay? This guy had an Avengers level lineup of artists, dude, okay? One of these artists was Lady A, and he would only play like their most popular songs. So when I listened to them recently, I was like, man, I gotta listen to their whole discography, man, I gotta tap in. And also, I've never heard anyone else talk about them. So I also wanted to put Lady A onto you guys so we can tap in together. So before we start this, I just gotta say, this is all my opinion. I might call your favorite song mid or trash. I might dog on your favorite album, okay? But it's all my opinion. So don't meat right me on the comments and saying, oh, this. Just have a normal chat, dude. If you like a song, let me know, okay? I'm also doing whatever Spotify says in an album. If there's exclusive stuff on Apple Music or secret bonus discs, it's not happening, okay? Also, if an album has a deluxe, that is the version I'm going to listen to, but I'll consider both of them when I rank them. With all that out the way, let's jump right into it. Lady A, originally known as Lady Antebellum, is composed of 3 members. Hillary Scott and Charles Kelly, who are the 2 lead vocalists, and Dave Haywood, who is more of a production side, doing the guitar and piano, but would also do background vocals. Each of the members had music backgrounds when growing up that shaped the group's sound today. Hillary was born in Nashville, Tennessee, and was the daughter of Grammy-winning country artist Linda Davis, known for Does He Love You? Inspired by her mom's success, Hillary started writing her own songs at the age of 14 and dreamed of becoming a country artist herself. Charles, born in Augusta, Georgia, was the youngest of 3 brothers. His older brother, Josh Kelly, was a pop rock artist. Charles would help write music with him and would go on to even join his band, which was called Inside Blues. Charles eventually moved to Nashville to chase his own dreams of music fame. Lastly, Dave, who was also born in Georgia. Now, he didn't have any music relatives, but he did have somebody else. Our Lord and Savior. Yep, that's right, church. Dave's parents were both involved in music for their church group, and they would go on to teach him piano and guitar. Later on, he would meet Charles in middle school and become friends with him. The 2 played in a band together for years, with Dave focusing on the instruments and harmonies. So when Charles moved to Nashville, he invited Dave to come with him. So now we have all 3 of the members in Nashville. Charles and Dave both writing and performing songs together, and Hillary doing her own music. They would eventually come together after Hillary found Charles' MySpace account.
Oh, god damn it! We don't have any internet! What is this, Pakistan? How am I supposed to switch around my MySpace top 8? I still have Tom in there, for Christ's sake. Everybody's gonna think I'm some kind of loser.
Where he would post demos of songs he was working on. She reached out and asked if they wanted to work on music together, and then they met up and boom, we have Lady A. Not long after, they started performing under the name Lady Antebellum, the name coming from a photo shoot they did in front of an old Western-style antebellum house Now, later down the line, they did change their name to Lady A. So this whole video, I'm just going to call them Lady A, and I'll tell you why they changed it later on. So Lady A would quickly gain attraction around Nashville, and by 2007, they would sign their first major record label deal with Capitol Records Nashville. And then we come to 2008, where they released their debut album, released on April 15th, 2008, with a total of 11 tracks. It ranked number 1 on the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. Now, when I usually listen to an artist's debut album, I expect the worst, okay? I don't have any expectations. They're just starting off, getting their footing. But this first project, hey, it was not bad, okay? Great vocals all around, and the outros were great. Giving us hella vocals at the end, bro. I say none of the tracks disappointed. Most were pretty good, pretty decent. Also, some of them sound literally like Disney songs.
I should have been chasing you. I should have been trying.
And this one sounds exactly from Cars. You can't tell me otherwise. Now, coming into this album, I had one song, and that's I Run To You, which became their first #1 hit. And it went on to win a ACM award for Single of the Year. You wanna know why it won? Because the song's a banger, dude. I was literally singing the song the entire time it was playing. So that gets me into my top 3 tracks. I Run To You. Disaster, so I'll run to you. I'll run to you. Looking for a Good Time. And lastly, One Day You Will. I had 5 for 11 tracks with an average score rating of 5.8. Now you're probably confused what all this means. It's pretty simple. The red means I didn't add it, the green means it's to my playlist, and the fire means that's a banger and you should probably listen to it. Now the average score rating is pretty self-explanatory. I ranked every song from 1 to 10, and that's just the average. Now I don't have a lot of tracks, but it doesn't mean they're bad. It's just more that they're generic and fine songs. Now ranking their first project, if I had to give it a number, I'll give it 5, so that gets them put right in C. I Run To You, please listen, bro. That's a banger. After their first studio album, the group was everywhere. Touring, headlining, performing at award shows. First album out, it was a swing. Now with this rise in popularity, they went straight into it, working on their next album. The trio spent months as they were going on the road, and this all led to their second studio album. I can do without, I just need you now. Released on January 26, 2010, with a total of 11 tracks. It ranked #1 in the Billboard Top Country Albums and the Billboard 200. As well, they would be nominated for 6 Grammys and win 5 of them? What? They won Record of the Year. They won Song of the Year. They won Best Country Performance by Duo or Group with Vocals. Holy mouthful. They won Best Country Song and Best Country Album. The only one they didn't win was Album of the Year. Now, when I started this video, I had no idea that they were even popular enough to be at the Grammys, let alone almost sweep them entirely. Like, yeah, they have mad numbers, but nowadays you can have like 100 million streams and nobody will know your name thanks to TikTok. This was like the last thing I expected while writing the script. Now there's a reason this album almost swept the Grammys, because it's a banger. Great vocals, a bunch of hits, I'm not gonna even lie, dude. I came into this with 1 track, Need You Now, and there's a reason why the album is named after that. Cause it's heat, bro. It's actual heat. Also, the next most popular track, American Honey, I kind of think is a little overrated. But don't hate me, it's still a bop, bro, okay? It's just like 100 million streams worth? I don't know. Now, my top 3 songs are Need You Now. But I'm a little drunk and I need you now. Our Kind of Love. And American Honey. This trio right here. These 3 songs, elite, bro. Tight as hell. It's like the trio equivalent of the furnace, crafting table, and chest, bro. This is the trio right here. I had 8 for 11 with an average score rating of 6.2. But don't sleep on any of these other tracks, bro. This is all heat, okay? To rate this album, I'll give it a high B with a 7. Depending on the day, I could see it being an A. But just right now, I'm going to put this at B. So after their big success in 5 Grammys, they went on their first real tour. And they were just riding their high, dude. Skip forward a year later, and they start recording for their new album. With Charles Kelly stating they worked 2.5 months straight. Which brings us to...
Just a kiss on your lips in the moonlight. Just a touch of the fire.
Released on September 13th, 2011, with a total of 12 tracks. It charted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and #1 on the Billboard Top Country Albums. For the 54th Grammys, they won Best Country Album, beating out Taylor Swift. Okay, yes, it was a young Taylor Swift, but come on. How many people can say that? Before I talk about what I think, I just gotta point out, this album cover is funny as hell, dude. We'll see a common theme throughout all these album covers. All 3 of them are standing in their poses, all stoic and badass. This is a country album, what are we doing? This one, they decided to take a picture in Tatooine, dude. How did we even come to this? Like, this could actually be a Star Wars poster. I wonder how that conversation even went to decide to shoot in a desert. So guys, we have all the tracks mastered and ready. All we have left is the cover. I was thinking maybe something like a garage or the desert. What? Desert. Oh my... Oh my god, it's so hot out here. Okay, let's get this over with. Everyone, come on. Okay, Hillary, can we look... Dave, guys, look over here. Any of you guys look at... There's fine, we're shooting it like this. Anyways, back to the album. It's pretty average. I came into it with 1 song, and it was the title track. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but this is also a banger, dude. Like, so good. I love this song with a passion. As we go through the track list, it's really either hit or miss. I feel like you're either getting the most banger song we've heard from them, or just the most mediocre country song that no one really cares about. Which also reminds me that at this point, I was starting to get a little fatigued, because all 3 of these albums kind of just sound the same. Like, we're talking about love, we're talking about breakups, we're talking about normal country stuff. But that doesn't mean they ain't bangers on here, okay? Get that right. My top 3 songs. #1, We Own the Night. Just listen. Oh, night. Woo! #2, Friday Night. And lastly, #3, Just a Kiss.
Just a kiss goodnight.
I think Friday Night is criminally underrated, okay? This song's a banger, and Wanted You More is very close to being on the top 3. I had 6 for 12 with an average score rating of 6.1. Yeah, there's definitely bangers on here, but there's still a couple duds. Ranking this, I'm feeling a calm 6, which will get it to the lower half of B. Now, this transition's probably the most boring one. They have success, they go on tour, they write on the road, okay? They dropped their 4th studio album. We're gonna come back to it later, and I'll explain why. But we're just gonna skip all the way to their 5th studio album.
I don't know why you don't take me downtown, like you got anywhere better to be.
Released on May 2nd, 2013 with a total of 12 tracks, and then dropping a deluxe 6 months later with 6 new tracks. 3 being new, and the other 3 being acoustic songs of previous hits. I forgot to say, but going forward, acoustic and remix versions of songs aren't really considered in my ranking or my ASR. When the original Golden released, it ranked #1 on the Billboard 200 and the Billboard Top Country Albums. Firstly, their album cover. Just look at it. Dave looks like he saw a toad off screen, and Charles, he looks like he's being held at gunpoint, okay? Kinda how it feels to listen to this album. Hold up. Only Hillary is hitting that shit, bro. She is slaying on this cover, not gonna lie. But back to the album, it's just kinda whatever. It just feels like they took leftover songs from the last 3 albums and stuck them onto one project. If you want a basic Lady A album, here you go. We still have love songs, we still have hits for the radio. It's pretty much the same. Now, what I will say about Lady A is that they always have great vocals. But this time their vocals seemed a little flat. Yes, they're hitting their notes, but I feel like they just need a little more power with their vocals. They didn't have the power. That's all I gotta say. My top 3, Better Off Now.
I'm through with this, I'll forget your
Compass. And lastly, Downtown.
How we ran around, I don't know why it don't take me downtown anymore.
I got 4 for 12 and an average score rating of 5.5. For the deluxe, I had 5 out of 15 with an average score rating of 5.4. I'll put it at a low C. Like, it's kind of, this album's kind of like a 4. Now for their next studio album, they wanted to go bigger. They wanted to go faster. They wanted to go crazier. And that led to a more pop country focus, which gave us releasing on September 30th, 2014, with a total of 11 tracks, with an additional deluxe adding 3 tracks later. When releasing, it ranked number 2 on the Billboard 200 and the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. We gotta talk about the cover because this time, look at this. They're literally on the landing strip. Guys, move! There's a plane right behind you. Air traffic control. This is American 58. We got 3 Jamoose on tarmac.
What?
Move! We got places to be! Tower, I'm going through. This is your captain speaking. We're gonna feel a little bit of turbulence back there. Back to the album. Remember how I said for Golden, I wish they had more power behind their vocals? Well, it's kind of like they heard me and they brought it this album, dude. Well, they brought the punch, dude. They literally pack a punch this album, okay? First track comes out, boom, power. Then nextly, Bartender, which is the one song I came in with, is a fucking banger, okay? And this pop country style, I love it, dude. I love it. It was a refreshing break from the same sound for these 4 last albums. My top 3 songs, Bartender.
Hey bartender, warm hot tonight till the party and the music and the drink.
Long Stretch of Love.
There's a long stretch of love coming down the line.
And lastly, She Is.
She's whatever she wants to be, and she is a little of everything.
Just a Girl and All Nighter came very close to being on the top 3.
Just another one of your Friday nights, but this is an all-nighter. I get lost with you running through every.
I got 9 for 11 with an average score rating of 6.5. And for the deluxe, I had 11 out of 14, with the ASR being a 6.52. Definitely listen to the deluxe if you're going to listen to this. And if I had to rank this, we're putting this up an A with a good 8, okay? So after 747, there was some sort of decline. The group stated they were feeling fatigued anyways. So after they finished their tour, they said, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a hiatus. And the break lasted 3 years with each member releasing their own projects. And then the break ended. They came back together and we get their 7th studio album. Releasing on June 9th, 2017 with a total of 13 tracks. It ranked number 4 on the Billboard 200 and was nominated for Best Country Album, but didn't win. Now, what did I think about this?
That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
Like, literally, man, while listening to this in my notes, I wrote obvious radio bait and 2016 songs. I feel like they thought that the decline was because of the pop country focus with their last album. So they just tried to go back to their old sound, but it just feels soulless, dude. For Golden, at least I can say it's an average Lady A album. But for this, it's just like an average country album. Like, they were playing it way too safe, man. And this is the first album that I didn't have like a hit. The vocals aren't crazy, and it's trying way too hard to get a radio banger. My top 3 songs are Think About You,
We used to be every memory anymore.
The City,
This city never looked so good the way it's looking so good on you, yeah.
and You Look Good.
Watching you like cameras in Hollywood, baby, you look good.
I had 4 for 13 with an average score rating of 4.8. Most of these tracks are just either boring or generic. And this is going straight into D here. Get out of here. I give it a 3. They probably should have not taken 3 years off. That's all I gotta say. Now, between Heartbreak and their next album, they went through a lot of changes. They switched record label deals, moving from Capitol Nashville to Big Machine Label Group. And this is when they changed their name to Lady A. because the word
Antebellum
means before the Civil War, with talking about plantations and slaves. And during the George Floyd protest, most companies were just changing racist stuff, and Lady A did the same to show support. So all these changes lead to their 8th studio album. Releasing on November 15th, 2019 with 13 tracks, with a deluxe coming a year later with 6 new tracks, 3 being new and 3 just being remixes. It went to rank number 2 on the Billboard Top Country Albums. Now signing with their new label, they have a bunch of new producers, a whole new team. So how did it come out? Alright, this was their first album where they had a bunch of writers, with half the album not being written by at least one of the members. So the album seems less like a Lady A album and more like good country album. My top 3 songs are Champagne Night,
Don't need doubles and bubbles to get in all kinds of trouble out in the country.
What If I Never Get Over You,
What if I never get over you?
and lastly, Ocean.
And baby, you're an ocean beautiful and blue.
With Alright and What Am I Leaving For could also be up there too.
No lie, no lie, no lie, yeah. It's alright, alright, yeah. Take a look at our little paradise. It ain't much, but baby,
I had 6 for 13 with an ASR of 5.5, and with the deluxe I had 8 for 16 with an ASR of 5.6. Including the deluxe, I'll put this right at the top of C with a high 5. Now let's pause what we're doing and let's go all the way back to this mysterious 4th studio album. Now I recorded all my reactions to this in October, and you want to know what's the last thing I wanted to do when Halloween is a week away? That's right. Listen to a Christmas album.
have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Originally being an EP released in 2010, which became a full album in 2012, they both weren't released on Spotify, but for some reason in 2020, they decided to make a deluxe with 4 more songs, and that's the only version on Spotify. Now, what can I say about this? It's a Christmas album. The covers of the songs are done well. That's pretty much it. The other notable part is that there actually is 2 original Christmas songs on here, with On This Winter Night actually being pretty decent. I feel like new Christmas songs are a lot harder to be in the mainstream because we just love the classics, okay? My top 3 songs are Little Saint Nick, Wonderful Christmas,
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
and On That Winter's Night. Oh, they got kids! Oh, kids hit that chorus. I had 9 for 16, but I'm not going to give any of these a rating because they're just covers of Christmas songs, and it's not their own body of work. Also, everybody has their favorite Christmas songs, and it just seems weird to rank it. So we're going to just toss this in a new tier and put that all the way into holiday, okay? I will say it is a good Christmas album, if you want to know. Now let's go all the way back to where we were, with Ocean releasing and marking the point of transition into the new Lady A, and that leads to a year later with their 9th studio album.
Feel like a lady, sipping on tequila with my Levi's on.
Releasing October 22nd, 2021, with a total of 14 tracks. One release, it ranked number 12 on the Billboard Top Country Albums, making it the first time they are under the top 10. Firstly, I gotta say, they went back to writing all their songs. They still had writers to help them, but they had at least one member on each of the songs, except for like one. This also marks the first time that Dave did main vocals on a song.
A firm foundation is hard to break.
Hell? It was an okay song, but I hope in the future he has more chances to actually be the lead vocal. If I had to describe this album, it's just Ocean but better. My top 3 songs being Friends Don't Let Friends,
No friends, don't let friends drag along.
Chance of Rain,
Pain is like never seeing summer 'cause a chance of rain.
and Like a Lady. I really love Friends Don't Let Friends because I'm a huge Darius Rucker fan. Well, we love you, Darius Rucker. I had 8 for 14 with a ASR of 6.1. It's good all around. Vocals are good, outros are good. I'll give it a 6, and we'll put it at the back of B. We come to present day. 4 years of no albums. But 2 months ago, they released their 10th studio album, which is... Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next...
Released on September 26, 2025, with a total of 11 tracks. I didn't expect to listen to 2 Christmas albums this episode, but here we are. Now, this album is very weird because it takes the 4 deluxe songs from the first album and sticks them on here. So actually, we only have 7 new tracks, but also 2 of the tracks are original. So this new album only has 5 covers of Christmas songs. What is the point, dude? What is the point of releasing this? I'm coming to think that they only released this because they wanted to do a winter tour and get all that Christmas money. Anyways, the album is just whatever, like nothing special. My top 3 is Last Christmas,
Undercover, but you tore me apart. I know
What Christmas Means to Me,
that's what Christmas means to me, my love. That's what Christmas means to me, my
and Wouldn't Be Christmas.
the fireside. No, it just wouldn't be Christmas.
Technically, it has 3 for 7 because I'm not including the 4 songs from the deluxe. If I was rating this, it's their worst album by far. It feels lazy. It doesn't feel like they put any effort into it. Throw that into holiday, but keep it very far away from the first album, okay? Nowhere near close. So that is Lady A's full catalog, with most of their albums landing in the B and C range. I recommend either 747 or Need You Now, both being very solid projects with a lot of hits. My favorite song from all these albums, it has to be We Own the Night, dude. We Own the Night is such a classic banger, dude. Anytime I hear the start, dude, I'm going crazy. I love it. I gotta say, come on, don't hate on me. Now, going on to rank their discography, there's one looming issue, and it's that most of their songs kind of sound similar. And that's just the country genre in general, where they have the same topics and most of them can blend together at the end of the day. In my eyes, a good discography needs some type of variation. Like, I made a playlist with all the Lady A albums in it, and the first 5 songs, I couldn't tell you what albums they were on, okay? But with all that saying, I'm gonna put this right at B. I asked myself, is there more good in their catalog than bad? And I think they ended up in B, because C is more the good and the bad even out. And also, most of their albums had a song that was a 10 out of 10 for me, like banger, like bro, play at my funeral or something, okay? And that is Lady A. What did you think? You should listen to them. They are country stars, okay? Here's a hint of who I will do next. If you have any recommendations, put them in the comments. But I've already listened to a lot of discographies before I started making YouTube videos. Here they all are. I'll probably do these 5 as a video one day, so stay tuned if you want to see those. And this video took a while, guys. I had to use 4 different cameras. I had to move my whole setup. Yeah, I had to write a script for the first time. It's fun. But if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I will see y'all